guys, Todd here with the intro to the first video episode of the Edgy&Weird podcast. Uh, Intro slash disclaimer. Uh, so I just want to point out a few things here. So this is just a single camera right now, so it's not going to be able to show me, Rob, and a third guest like we wanted. So it's just going to be me and one other person. The first episode is actually just me kind of riffing. I was actually up in the middle of the night just seeing if this whole video thing would actually work. So there's going to be stuff like kind of chaotic. Like my tent here was open. I had a broom in the back where this lamp is right here. I had on this shirt showing like some side boob at the end. So, hello, ladies. Anyway, we're going to make things better as time goes on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this first episode. and stay tuned.
Ooh, that's lit.
All right. Welcome to the Edgy and Weird podcast. The Edgy Bits, we're going to call it, because it's just me. My friend and co-host Rob is not here at the moment because I'm actually trying this for the first time to see if it works. And if it does work, then Rob, you and I should have a little talk, buddy. But we'll air that some other time, man. Welcome. How's everyone doing? It is Wednesday, I believe. Yes, Wednesday, May the 19th. How's everything going, people? Oh, man. What are we here to talk about? Let's see, man. I'm watching a lot of late night talk show hosts. The Trevor Noahs, Stephen Colbert's, the Jimmy Kimmel's. And, I have to say, what's going on, guys? Seems like you are going a little bit crazy. Maybe been staring at yourselves in the mirror too long. Trust me. I get it, man. I get it. I do it all the time. But, why don't we just break it down? Stephen Colbert. Sir. Excuse me, Mr. Colbert. You know what, man? I love you, brother. I think you're honest. I think you're genuine. To the best a person can be as far as the network goes. You try to get your truths in there. But man, oh man, this whole thing about not saying Trump's name, brother, I gotta say, I am disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. What do you think is going to come of not saying Trump's name? You think it's going to change history? The fact that he was president for 4 years? Look, you got to get over it, brother. He was president for 4 years. It sucks. Trust me. I know I lived it. And I'm black, and I still say his name. I don't have a talk show host. I don't have a talk show. I don't have a fucking platform where millions and millions of people are listening to me. What do you think those millions of people, Trump supporters or not, probably mostly not, what are they going to attach their anger to? A bunch of stars and a P? The former president? Look, when you try to omit history, you just leave room for anyone else to put anything else in that history that they want to. People need clarity, They need real thought and reality to go into the things that they're listening to and they're hearing right now, because there's too much in the air that isn't reality. There's too much in the air left up to question, like the former this and what was that and whose role was this and whatever catastrophic thing happened. So, man, you may be tired of saying his name, but there's people out there who are just as tired, if not more. They don't have your money, and they don't have the ability to think about terms of T star 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 P. You know, the things he did, they're affecting our lives. They're affecting your life too. But Trump, just say Trump. You know, it's not that hard. If you believe in God, or you're not going to say devil. If you're explaining something bad, own up to it, man. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay? But there are millions of people that listen to you daily. And if you're the type of person who says you want to project some type of truth with your comedy, then just own up to the fact that this is what it is. This is where we are. And there's nothing we can do about it. Hey, let's fucking hold hands and fucking rummage through this shit pile together. But let's be honest and let's have our eyes open about it. That's all I'm saying. Just my stupid ass opinion sitting in my room, not knowing anything. So let's go on further, man. How about that Seth Meyer? Actually, I really don't have too much to say about you, brother, because all I can say is I feel your pain. How else are you going to deal with this? If you have a platform, how else are you going to deal with the savagery? My complaint with Stephen Colbert is probably the exact complaint I have with you. Like you dwell on one single part, and man, I get it, but there's a broader range of things happening. Also, if you're going to focus on one thing, maybe even for an episode, maybe focus on something equally as tangible, but there's just not so focused on the Republican side of things, you know, and those specific people. I think it's important to realize that people are the ones who are instituting these things, or not responding, or responding wrong, or doing whatever it is they're doing. Before they were reds and before they were blues, they were just people with their own ideals and their ideas of how they wanted things, whether that was good or bad or whatever it is. Okay. And people are in this whole thing with all of those same ideas with a red or blue tie. But their ideas or ideals and what makes them tick, what makes them work, that hasn't changed. They're just either putting their agenda on the back burner to further something that's close enough to theirs, or using these platforms for their own agenda, whatever that agenda might be. And you got to understand that is a red and a blue thing, man. That's a people thing. You can't just focus on one side and ignore the rest of what's been going on here. So I just say open your eyes more. Hopefully that wasn't too ambiguous, because like I said, I really don't have much to say about you. Jimmy, just stop. You know, just get a backbone. Get something real, something genuine. Being all flappy and stuttering all over the place on TV when you're on the Tonight Show that had Johnny Carson and Jay Leno, even though he wasn't the greatest human being off the set, the dude knew how to entertain you, brother. You're a nightmare. I see you and it makes my fucking skin crawl. My God. I just see you going, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. No, that's going to ruffle too many feathers. You cowering in a fucking corner, crying, wanting everybody to like you. And guess what, man? That's going to get nobody to actually like you. If you haven't heard that fucking before, who hasn't? You are literally playing that caricature to a T. So that's it for him. Now on to somebody who's not really a late night talk show guy, but he's just as influential, if not more. Hell, he even got a shout out from Mr. Fauci himself. And that is none other than the Joe Rogan. Not gonna be honest, Joe. I put down your podcast for a little bit, man, because I was hearing all this anti-coronavirus, anti-this and all that stuff from you. And I'm thinking, well, this man is obviously going through his own personal struggle. You know, he sees what's going on in the world and it's bothering him. But there's a few things I think you need to consider right now, too. Okay? For one, if you are saying that you do not have influence over what people are saying and thinking, you got a shout out from Anthony Fauci. That's White House staff. If that's not showing you that, Joe, you got some pull. People are listening to what you say. I don't know what else would. I'm like looking at the whatever I'm looking at. You got a shout out from the fucking White House, bro. Okay? That means people are listening to you. And you know what that means? Whether you see it or not, people listening to you are listening to you like they're reading the fucking Bible. Okay? That's how people are wired. They don't get their fucking, they get all their learning material from the shit they watch and the shit they see and emulate and the shit that resonates. And that's not from the stuff they're taught and fucking Bible school and all the bullshit their parents tell them. It's the stuff they hear and they see that their friends are doing. The stuff they watch on TV, some fucking cartoons, bro. Their favorite comedian. Or favorite serial killer, you know who the fuck you are. So yes, people are listening to you, man. And if you don't want to accept that responsibility, that's completely fine. If you want to act like you're just talking into the fucking ether, like nothing's happening, no one's listening to you, that's fine. But people listen to Trump, okay? He became president. You should have to know that people are listening to you. All right? So your words hold weight. And if you are having these struggles on air, you got to understand certain things you say, well, they're going to resonate with people who are just going to flat out listen to you and be like, well, maybe I shouldn't be taking this. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Joe Rogan said it. So there's that. All right. That being said, I backed off because I heard a little bit too much of that. It seemed to me you were bringing these people on who just wanted to tout I'mRight.com. But I realized that now you were having your own struggle, you know, just like all of us. Man. So, I say you had some legitimate points, like accountability for these governors and all this. They're still being paid while people are suffering, being hypocrites. What is that, Newsom? Going to a restaurant, not wearing a mask, that type of thing, while telling everyone they need to wear a mask and all that stuff. All of that's true. But you also have to understand, I hate to keep going back to him, but who was president at the time? This was a national issue. This was an international issue. And right from the get-go, it was handled poorly from the top down. So if the top is all frazzled and fucked, what do you think the people at the bottom are going to be doing? Huh? It wasn't supposed to be the governor doing shit. The governor's supposed to handle stuff at state level. National level crises, they need to be handled by the national level people. And from the beginning, we were getting mixed messages from those people. There was no unified voice to tell us exactly what we should be doing. So people, one way were believing one thing and doing one thing, and another way were believing the other thing. So you had half the people wearing masks and half the people not. That was the chaos. It shouldn't even been put on these people. These people, their responsibility was to make sure the things that were being handed down from the top were being put into practice. But there was nothing clear being handed down from the top. Okay. So this back and forth bullshit that we were going through, that's why we're here. That's why you're so frustrated. And that's why it took so long for anything to happen. All right. The pandemic was not just the coronavirus. The pandemic was a White House staff as well. And all of the misinformation that was being handed down from them, they were just as much of a sickness as anything that killed any of these people. The hundreds and the millions of people that died of this. You know, over 500,000 where we are. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand where you're coming from, but we also have to look at, we don't have to, but it would be better for us. It would behoove us to look at the bigger picture ourselves. All right. And realize that even people up there who were looking at the bigger picture, as you say, no one was, it doesn't necessarily mean they can do anything about it. All right. Because you have Ted Cruz in office. You know, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene up there just starting shit. Those are the real problems that we're facing. All right. And Newsom is a byproduct of that. Okay. All right. So now that we got off of that bullshit, what was the next thing I wanted to talk about? Mr. and Mrs. Obama. Mr. and Mrs. Obama. I need to say, from everyone who feels like me, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Obama, for everything that you've done that we realize and don't realize. But I'm going to tell you about the stuff that I realize. I realize that being the first Black president, the responsibility involved in that undertaking, especially if you're a thoughtful person, and there's only one way you can become the president if you're Black, and that's if you're, you can't be like a Flavor Flav. You have to be thoughtful. You have to think outside of every single box. You have to think outside of the Black box, the white box, the political box, all of these things. But not just that, you needed to have a family who was going to be able to support you through all of this. Something, a foundation to fall back on. So, Mrs. Obama, Michelle, I mean, the things behind every great man is a great woman. Well, that's not always necessarily true, but in this case, it is 150% true. I mean, every time you talk, it's just like, it's like an angel's breathing in my ears, man. You are a breath of fresh air. Unbelievable. The amount of thoughtful charisma that both of you carry. So many testaments to your character. Your kids who were just quiet the whole time, like no one even knew. Oh yeah, they have kids. They have kids. They ain't doing nothing but doing kid stuff. It's amazing. And still now, no one hears anything about them. They're not all in the tabloids or anything like that. Y'all weren't all in there. It'd have been what people were making up, I guess. But to be the first Black brother, to be the first Black sister, to be the first Black mother-in-law and father-in-law of the president, mother and father of the first lady. And by the way, you all had to know that this could push us several steps back. We weren't ready to have a Black president. There's still people who weren't even over the OJ trial. I'm talking about white people. So we weren't ready to have a Black president. And I think you knew that. But I think the bigger picture, once we are able to process this whole thing, which started with you being president, this whole coronavirus thing is also a byproduct of that. Unfortunately, it just happened within that time frame. But when we look at it in history, like another 30, 50 years, it is going to show the inspiration of a person outside of the race and all of that who could rise to the occasion of being the best person that they could be. Because you had to look past all of those things. Look, because of where we're at right now, because of the racial divide and all of that, you can understand to rise to a pinnacle of that stature, you have to be better than all of it. You have to be aware of all of it. You have to realize that your place in history solidified, but it may be littered with all types of things. Your life is going to change forever. So, which I can understand the show. I definitely heard that you said you didn't even want to deal with it. But thank you for being able to see the bigger picture, and that in history, this was something that, if possible, was necessary, no matter how hard it was how hard of a next future step, not so far in the future that we process this, but it was going to put us into a situation kind of like this. We didn't know there was going to be a coronavirus, but I'm not surprised that Donald Trump became president after you were president. That does not surprise me at all. And for anyone who is surprised about this ludicrous act happening, man, well, you haven't been paying attention for the past 200 fucking years. So, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Obama, for your labors. Ah, man. And the rest is now that I got all that bullshit out of the way, just me sitting here watching movies, me sitting here taking my stupid ass time getting all this bullshit ready for the podcast, trying to stay level headed. Got my centers here. They don't really help much. The weed does them. That is my podcast partner for today. Just call you Rob Jr. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. These superhero flicks. The Boys is one of them. For Invincible is another one. And then Jupiter's Legacy was the latest one. I checked out with what's his name? Josh Duhamel. He was in Vegas. That show with James Caan. Las Vegas. Man, one after another. I gotta say, average 8.5 stars out of 10. I do a 10 scale. You guys are killing it with these ideas. Kind of. I mean, they're kind of all on the same type of premises, especially Invincible. And what's the other one? Jupiter's Legacy. No, they're all kind of on that vein. Superheroes who are actually all just fucked up and have all types of depraved types of things they're doing. What Superman actually would have been like if you came here and saw all these weak motherfuckers sitting there like, man, fuck this, I'm about to kill you bitches. Some of y'all need to be gone forever. That was Invincible. I still like to see how he was able to handle a girl without killing her with all his superpowers and no kryptonite to power him down. Well, that's for another story. But man, oh man, they are really getting into it. People, they're just killing people. Jupiter's Legacy, I don't want to spoil too much for anyone who hasn't watched it because, you know, how everyone watches this podcast. Fuck. So this could just end up being, you know, for my friends. Fucking a good video headstone. I don't fucking know. But for anyone who's watching, I don't want to ruin too much. Let's just say, man, like they get into the whole, what if you had a family? What if you had kids? What would your kids be like having to deal with you? They probably all fucked up too. You know, it's got to be no different than having kids if you're like the president or the king. They're always fucked up. Because if you're the president of whatever it is, then you probably are not a good father. You know, that's the drawback. There's the you that everyone sees that saves the world, and then there's the part of you that you are when you're home, and that's if you're home, and that's a piece of shit, or just probably not even there. Anyway, bro, I love the whole dynamic of these new superhero flicks. But this being the first edition of the podcast, hell, I might just omit that whole superhero thing out. You know, it's kind of garbage anyway, actually. I might just actually fucking just end it with the whole president thing, I think. You know, I was thinking about this being a video podcast. It's going to be a lot easier to see where I'm at, cut shit out, fucking start over. You know, I could just ramble on this shit for like fucking 45 minutes. I need to address something. My God, this fucking country music. What the fuck is up with this? I gotta get some better fucking equipment. The Edgy and Weird podcast with country music. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. This is what I was afraid of. This is the thing that kept me off the fucking podcast for so long. I was afraid I was gonna get on here and have absolutely nothing to fucking say. Maybe have a few fucking solid points and just be sitting here rambling about my goddamn incense. You know, talking shit about my fucking lights and bullshit like that. Why the fuck do all the ideas come when you're sitting there baked out of your mind staring up at the fucking scene? Bro, I had at least 45 minutes of material on the Obama. I'm blank. I know how it feels to fucking be black and be a little different. You know? Then I got on it, and I gotta be honest, this fucking country music is killing me. I got on here, said a few of those fucking things about the Obama, you know. But like, God was so much more extensive than that. Just had the best conversations when we were not on camera, I guess. You know? I also kind of want to see how long this thing's gonna roll. It's like, he's had hour-long conversations with himself. Just talking shit. I know I can get on. Oh, man. Living here. My roommate. He thankfully has a job now. Good for him and good for me. But I think we did pretty good. We came out the other side pretty good. But we were just getting fucking sick and tired of seeing each other, though. Just the same person every day. And then that's what I realized too. Of course, we're going to hate each other. We see each other every fucking day. You are not built to deal with the same person every day. People don't want to deal with themselves. And to be fucking sitting here all pissed the fuck off about my own life and then going out there. I know everything I do wrong. This motherfucker is taking notes and I'm doing the same fucking thing. So it's like, after a while, you just want to fucking put your head through a wall. But I realized that's normal. That's not fair to him. It's not fair to me. Because that's the thing. The world fucking shut down. You need to realize that the world shut down. All right? And when a government that wants you to do what you're told, go make measly dollars, give them half it back in fucking taxes and all this shit, tells you to sit home, and we will pay you unemployment for almost a year. Just stay the fuck home, bro. That's gotta tell you some shit about how real this shit fucking is. What the fuck? These motherfuckers are gonna have black people, white people, Mexicans, everyone alone, sitting home, not doing nothing. You could be out there making their network fucking keep going. All this shit. Have you sitting home watching your favorite fucking show on fucking Netflix? Fucking bullshit, dog. No way. And that's what I'm saying about us needing to wake up. You know? Like enough. You know what I mean? Like, we drink beer. We smoke cigarettes. And the best thing I do is smoke weed. About the best thing I do is smoke weed. Well, I'd love to make one of those circles coming out of my mouth one of these fucking times. That'd be cool as shit. But the best thing we do is smoke weed. You want to talk shit about fucking putting a different type of needle in your arm with something that might help you. You need to be quiet. Like we know what the fuck is going on. Working at Safeway, doing a fucking reality show, a podcast, or a fucking Tonight Show, or whatever the fuck. Like we know what the fuck is going on. Oh. Bro. Shut the fuck up. If they tell you to do something, not like that. It's not like shut. But when it's this ridiculous, when the world has shut down, you know, like think about this. We know this motherfucker is a clown. Anyone who's thinking, all right, half the population is fucking retarded and racist to the death. Okay? Sorry for moving the camera so much. When the world is fucking changing right before your fucking eyes, you gotta fucking sit down and be like, okay, look, something's going on right now. Okay? It's going down. It's going down. I don't really know what's up, but the safety measures are probably the best ones to take because I don't really know what's up. All right? So I want to stay inside when I see somebody and I can't. I want to stay 6 feet away from them. I'm going to put on a fucking mask because the only thing, my bad breath is going to fucking kill me. Put some mints on. Spray some fucking breeze on that shit. So, put on the fucking mask. And then go when you can and get the goddamn shot. Well, I heard, oh, fuck off. Get the shot. Get the shot. And I understand they're using this to blah, 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 blah. They shouldn't be using it to further their goals. It should be about saving people. But once again, most of these people in there have an agenda. We know that. But aside from the agenda, we just need to get through this. So it didn't end up like the Spanish flu. Thank God there's YouTube and Google and TV and all types of things they didn't have back then. Just some fucking word of mouth shit. Some newspaper dropping from a goddamn stork. Or some bullshit. I don't know. So it didn't get that bad. We didn't lose 50 million. Okay? That doesn't mean the shit wasn't dangerous. That it couldn't have gotten so much fucking worse. And thank God that at least half the people, and a lot more than we probably realized, were sitting home, masking up, doing what the fuck they were supposed to be doing. It's all these idiots talking. That's why you always hear this shit. It's the fools running their mouths, just like always, just like I'm doing right now, that cause all the fucking bullshit. I do. Yeah, I realized some things. I want to make some changes in my life and all that stuff. And so I'm going to do that on my own scale as it affects me and handle things like that. Looking at myself and everything. Things I might have felt about the government and all that stuff. There's nothing I can do. I just know a few simple points that I should probably follow right now. So chill out and stay home as much as I can. Now things are kind of doing what they're doing, kind of getting back to normal. But before, chill out, stay home. Put on a mask when I go outside. And wait to get a fucking shot. Because all of those things could affect way more than me, no matter how I feel about it. Joe. Could affect way more than me. Then, other than that, man, it is about doing your own thing. I realize I don't want to go back to work like everybody. I never did. I always hated my fucking job. I've talked about that shit on the podcast plenty of times. Talked about it. Now you're seeing it. I've always hated my fucking job. Always. Most of you motherfuckers that I worked with, I fucking hated you. So the few people that I did, and you know who you are if you're listening, but you're probably not. So I said, fuck that. The things I do best are running my mouth, smoking weed. Why don't we mix those things, put that shit in front of the fucking camera, give you a reason to fucking put a goddamn pick through your hair. And do a goddamn podcast, bro. So that's what we're doing. Welcome. Yeah, I thought about doing a few monikers. A few little, I gotta really worry. I gotta really consider my fucking space away from the mic. And I am sorry. I'm going to think about that shit. I promise you guys. If this shit ever takes off. But yeah, I was thinking about little things to start the podcast. And I don't want nobody seeing my face when I'm doing this. But, just like a little, the Edgy&Weird podcast. Welcome. It's the Edgy&Weird podcast. What did Nick? What the fuck did Nick say about the Joe Rogan podcast? UFC podcast? UFC by day. Joe Rogan podcast by night. All day. Some bullshit like that. I'm gonna fucking erase. I'm not putting that shit on. I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of this shit I'm gonna cut out. I might leave that in. What I'm saying right now. But a lot of this shit I'm gonna cut out. Know this. But yeah, I've also said this before. We are not built to do 9 to 5s. You know? We're not. As people, we are not built to do 9 to 5s. It's just a system that was put in place and we follow to. Most of the stuff you learned in school, you don't fucking need. I have yet to do one fraction. You know, I've never used most of the stuff in math in life. I say it did apply in some form or another, but all of those things were put in place way before I got there, and I just pressed the buttons. So it might be good for the people it's good for, but I'm just saying. And when you start talking about college, the older you get, bro, the level of horse shit you have to learn just to get the stuff that you need to know, is that fucking worth it? Go on YouTube, specifically say, I want to learn how to be, well, an engineer. I want to learn this specific, how to do this specific piece of equipment, this specific type of car. We'll give you all of those things you need to know. Guarantee you there's at least 50 people who put videos up of themselves doing it. Most of them are shit, but some of them are going to be good. All this stuff I've done, all this shit I've done, as far as the YouTube thing, I learned on a fucking computer YouTube videos. So, in the future, if this goes anywhere and I'm getting paid, if I do plan on getting paid for doing this bullshit, if it's going anywhere, understand, I learned all this on a fucking computer. Would you believe the biggest thing I was worried about was being in front of the camera? But honestly, knowing that I don't have to show anybody any of this bullshit really does help. Really is kind of like sitting in front of a fucking mirror. Just being a fucking fool. Realizing, somebody might pay me just to sit in front of a fucking camera and be a fool. When you do that, then you start sounding less like Channing Tatum. Oh, really? I love you. Yes. Ugh. Somebody acting in front of a screen, it's like sounding more human, I guess. You would not believe it took me like 7 takes just to get to this point. I was like, scratch that. Nope, we're not doing that. All right, erase that. Now here we are. And trust and believe. I'm going to cut this up too. But we'll probably leave a lot of that. I do love me some banter. Matter of fact, I might call this the banter section. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call this the banter section. And the banter section is going to be for anyone who just loves listening to somebody ramble for like 45 fucking minutes and seeing all of the stupid faces that they can make while they're doing it in front of their camera, smoking 78,000 cigarettes. Okay, 7 to 10. I got my roommate out there thinking I'm losing my fucking mind. And I'm talking to myself. Like, oh boy, this nigga is going crazy. He's finally lost it. There's a weird thing about knowing somebody for so long. Knowing tells and things like that. And it's weird. It's fucking creepy. it's almost like having a relationship in a way. You know, obviously completely built. But it's like when I talk to this motherfucker now, I notice things. Like I notice him just like when I say something that he doesn't quite understand. He used to be like, oh what was that? Now it's more like, what? Like already he's expecting it to be weird because I know I'm weird. You know what I'm saying? Just little things like that. I don't know if that's like off-putting, but it's just something that I notice now. You know what I mean? For things like I was at Mike and Isaiah's, and if we do this video thing, you guys are gonna see them at some point. When I was at their place, and Mike always says this thing like, look like a microphone if you want to sing. You know, and in some ways, he's talking about my hair. In some ways, it's fucking hilarious, bro. Like a microphone if you want to sing. It's fucking funny, dog. But, you know, in some ways, I'm like, I started thinking about my body, like how skinny I've gotten. You know, like, is that all he sees in my fucking hair? Like, does he even fucking see me? He's looking at my fucking hair. Jesus Christ, bro. Get off it. You said it like 80 times. You know, and guaranteed, this is going to be a fucking thing. So I'm going to tell you right now, Mike, don't stop. Please continue to do it. Bro, I actually enjoy it. It just lets me know even more that I need to get over myself. So I generally have a chuckle at myself as I'm going, yeah. So, this is another little thing I noticed. If you don't notice any things about yourself, back to a question we had in the first podcast from our very own Olivia. You don't have anything that you've noticed is changing? And my God, since that first episode, how much has changed? Think about that for a second. It's been a year. I've grown plants. You can see some things over there, but I've grown. They've grown and died. I've had whole situations that I could probably write about in the amount of time that it's been since I've had a legitimate job. And I've seen more than 5 people that I know at once. You know, other than like going by tavern just to get some weed. You know, as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, why not just put the whole goddamn thing out, girl? I always wanted this to be kind of a candid type of a show. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely going to be some edits. I don't care. Just with the video, it's just the way it is. But very few, I think. Very few. I'm probably going to leave this in there. As people are sitting there with their own thoughts swirling as I'm thinking and pondering myself, staring off kind of oblong and sideways in space. And if you all can't hear it, there is country music blaring in my fucking ears. Hopefully you don't hear it, and if you do, in the final cut, I'm sorry, I'm not that good. Like I said, I learned everything off of YouTube. Disclaimer, sorry. If it doesn't work, I can always say, I just learned it off of fucking YouTube. What do you expect? I'm not a fucking professional. And if you were ever on the podcast, Rob, Sky, Olivia, Mike, and Isaiah, get ready. Because all this shit, they're going to be able to see us now. So every little thing that you do is just between you and everybody. It didn't really go as music to play on. And I'm surprised I haven't heard any of the comments about my mumbling habits, you know? Because I can hear what I'm saying. But man, I've listened back to some of the podcasts. I'm like, God, what the fuck did I say? Sometimes I have to listen back to it like 5 times, you know? And then after a while, sometimes at least 3 or 4 of those times, I just abandoned it. Fuck. It's just going down in history as a fucking mumble. Probably slow it down. See how much weed I can smoke before I'm just completely incoherent. That'd be a lot of weed. That'd be a lot of fucking weed. You know, how does Dave Chappelle do it? How does Dave Chappelle do it? How does Dave Chappelle do it? Just sit down and just have those thoughts just come flowing out of his brain. That is an amazing thing to see. That's another person. To be alive right now, you know, to be a human, and if you're white, I'm sorry, because you're going to be too mad for it to affect you in a positive way, unless you just, you know, you can't hate being white, you can't love it, and if you're black, you can't hate it, you can't love it too much, because you still won't be able to see it. But to be alive at a time where there is Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Dave Chappelle, Oprah. Like, I don't know. These people are you gotta understand, they're gonna go down in history as transcendent. And because I'm out of not rapping and all that stuff, and Dave Chappelle being a comedian, because there was only one Dave Chappelle, just like there was only one Richard Pryor, there was only one George Carlin. But this man is comedy genius. And he's just a word genius. Period. He just lives it. It just flows. Oh, the thoughtfulness, man. It makes me ashamed. All of this wasted time I spent watching anime. I could have been learning stuff. The things this dude just calls up on a whim. Ugh. You know, worse than being dumb. I mean, there's not too many things worse than being dumb. But worse than that is being smart enough to know how dumb you are. It's the shittiest fucking thing. You know? And wondering, are you ever going to be strong enough to change it? Don't get me wrong, this is the first step. Sitting in front of here, I want to process all this bullshit. You know, you guys are going to see it in some form. I guess this is the first step. We'll see. Because I'm telling you, man, 37 years old. Probably half my life is over. You know? And I don't really want much. I don't want to get married. I don't even want a girlfriend. I prefer jerking out, to be honest with you. Just turn over and go to sleep after I wash my hands, of course. you know, I guess I really would, this would be the thing I would like to do if I'm going to have some peace and scratch that itch that every man has and women do too, has to create and legitimize themselves in some form. But I don't want them to do that and put it on another human being, which is why I don't want children. I don't need that. You know, my parents did that, or at least one of them. I want to do it myself. And whatever I go with, I go with. You know, let the universe tell the fucking story. I don't know. But I guess this will be the thing. You just can't get that shit working at flour and barley. You can't get that shit. Maybe you can get it, become a weed distributor. I think you'd be saving thousands of lives. Maybe there's an avenue to that. But this is mine. This is mine, and I still might want to be a weed distributor. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But this is mine. This is gonna be my thing. It's gonna be the only thing. This is what I'm putting all my fucking chips on, for the most part. I have to say, because obviously there's other ways to make money, and obviously I want to do that. But my voice, this will be my legacy. From there, we shall see what happens. Man, that would have been a good spot to turn up the fucking cameras and drop the mic. And in the final cut, I might do that. Who knows? But yep, that's what we're doing, baby. We're going for legacy. So much of a settle, man. See, I'm not 500 pounds, so you can't see all of my discrepancies. You know, you can see it in a lot of the bag. You know what I'm saying? Wear it on my face a little bit. Wear it on my face. But they're in here, man. They're all in here. They're stored. You know, put that shit down a lot of bottles. Man. You know, a lot of fucking bottles. So, I guess this coronavirus thing, if there's anything good that came out of it, it's the clarity that I've been flirting with for probably 7 to 8 years, that I've just been forced to stare at and psychoanalyze for the past year. This is what I arrived at. But it's not just me. While looking at how to become the best version of myself, I found some other people, you know, who were just as apprehensive as I am, but want to just as much. Rob, Isaiah, they've got that drive. And someone you haven't met yet, you will definitely meet. The enigmatic and spiritually robust Chiaki sound. Her singing bowls, they put you in on a level that just makes you think and see in like colors. I think is all I can really describe it as. Beautiful to listen to that. She does these hour sessions, which I'm definitely going to put on my WNE E&W? Oh, that's fantastic. E&W podcast page. So that's going to be some original content that you can look forward to seeing. And things like us just rambling, Mike just talking like he's a local. Him being a skinny little white dude. It's funny as fucking shit, or singing like a Filipino in karaoke. Ugh, it's fucking funny, bro. We got the video stuff going. Look forward to that. God damn it, these cigarettes just don't last long enough. Fuck. Need a fucking cigar or something. There's another one. My roommate. Fucking one of the best cooks I've ever had the pleasure of eating a meal from. He worked the top of Waikiki before it all, before everything would belly up. Man, oh man. This dude, within 6 months, he had something on their menu. For anyone who's been to the top of Waikiki or knows about it before it goes down, that place was top shelf. For anyone to walk in 6 months, have something on their menu permanently, that's saying a lot. But he undercuts himself too. I think this dude's potential is so much more vast. And if I can get an avenue that can help some people like myself who, don't have a dream of fucking rolling the fucking anything, man, that just kind of want to make their mark in a non-invasive way. And it's not about fitting into the system that's been designed. It's about fitting into the system of life. How you should fit into it, which I don't think is holding up a bunch of other people and making their dreams work. Maybe collectively holding each other up in some form. Why, if you make money, do you have to make money continuously off of someone else? There's other ways. Like these people that are coming to you for this advice, they're still paying Walmart for all of these products. They're still paying all types of online purchases and all of these things that these people that are asking you to pay them to get information, they're affiliated with all of these things. It's all a network. And money's all being passed around to these rich motherfuckers, all these different conglomerates. Meanwhile, they're still taking every fucking penny. So if that information can be made available to people like us for free, which by the way, it is already out there. You just have to piece it together. And if I could put that out there as already having substantiated myself at some point, and I can put that out there for at least my friends and my family to benefit from, well then consider my life goals met. I might go skydiving after that. Fuck no. One day they might be saying it all started with a fucking cam in this, I don't want to say dilapidated, but this place is definitely not top shelf. I want something like that though. Anyone who has a few stories, they already got some shit like that. It's TikTok, I guess. But as a platform for people I know, kind of like Joe Rogan does, look, sometimes you do want to emulate success in some forms. And I love the motherfucker. It's just, you gotta call out discrepancies as you see them. Okay? but like lesser known people like Tim Dillon, who is fucking hilarious, bro. I have people in my life that will make you laugh for days. Nobody knows them. They just they were in the Navy, and, you know, they work at the fucking Kapolei industrial complex or some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Or they're just on the street. Fuck. Some people are hilarious. They don't ever fucking get a mic. They need a mic. And we need those people for some levity to all this crazy horse shit that's going on. So don't be afraid to follow your dreams. Whatever, dog. Sometimes it's not that fucking easy. You know, sometimes you're trying to follow your dreams, and a bitch that you got a restraining order on shows up at your fucking door, telling you she got choked like you're supposed to fucking care. And you're like, well, fuck, bro, my dreams. I'm trying to do my dreams over here. Can you please leave? I know the restraining order is up, but I obviously don't want you around. That's why I got one. I don't care that you got choked. I really don't. I got a restraining order on you. You don't think I wanted to choke you at some point, bitch? Please. Go on somewhere. But yeah. We are at about an hour and 5 minutes, baby. I think that is enough time and enough shit talking. So we can cut up. We can call this the first official Edgy and Weird podcast. The Edgy Bits video edition. Mark it down. Yes. We out.